song that I could sing, but I could try for your heart. Our dreams, and they are made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs and sepia tone loving. Love is the answer, at least for most of the questions in my heart. Like, why are we here, and where do we go, and how come it's so hard? It's not always easy, and sometimes life can be deceiving. I'll tell you one thing, it's always better when we're together. It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at the stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It's not that bad. Not that bad. But I'll always get what we want. We can try. Let's try this. Do you know what the word Genesis means? No. Look at me. Huh? Why can't you look at me? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Well, you seem awfully agitated and upset that I asked you to do this. Huh? And why?
Don't really want to.
Why? Don't you ever find God? Or are you afraid to find God? You had some good questions the other night. What's wrong with you? If you're asking a question, surely you're seeking an answer. That's what motivates the question, is the desire to have some mystery answer. You don't think?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You just ain't sure, I guess. Alright, do you know what the Torah is? Well, the Torah is the first 5 books in the Bible, known as the books of Moses. And so the word Genesis means, right? What does it mean?
I don't know.
In the beginning. And so the Torah, the first 5 books of Moses, the word Torah means hitting the mark. You know, it is a guide to righteousness, holiness. It guides us to it so that it defines it, right? Holiness, that's what it is. There's 613 statutes and precepts and ordinances by God in these first 5 books that define what holiness is supposed to be, so that when you meet God, you would recognize God, right? Because He defines what is holy. You know what I mean? So, book of Genesis is like in the beginning of our relationship with God, finding God, right? It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? So everything in the heavens, God created, and he also created the earth. Now the earth was void, without form, or was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the faces of the water. So inside the heavens is not void or formless, right? Only the earth was formless and void. But the heavens weren't, and God created the heavens first. Do you know what heaven is?
No.
Heaven is the place where God lives. That's what, when you hear, every time you hear the word heaven, that's what it means. The place where God lives. Wherever that is. I don't know. But, right? What's the matter? Come on. You can talk to me. You don't have to be upset.
I'm fine.
You don't look fine. You're not acting fine.
I just feel like I'm kind of being forced to do this.
Yeah, that's life.
No.
What is it then? What is it? You can bitch, moan, complain about every aspect of life, and then when someone says, well, here's a solution to that problem, I don't want nothing to do with that.
No, I just don't like. Didn't feel right to be forced into something.
What's forcing you into anything? You ask questions, you say you don't believe in God, and you ask a lot of questions about God, like questions about Adam and Eve, and
I
then
don't even remember asking those questions. I was blackout wasted.
Inside here is the real world, it's reality, and it confronts your feelings, it confronts your disappointments, it confronts your successes, and all your good things. It manifests, it makes it real. You know? What is it you want? Huh? You do know. You just gotta say it.
I don't know.
No, I don't know is not the answer. I don't know is saying you need help. I need help with hanging out with my dad for 10, 20 minutes. Why? Why is it we're not allowed to speak about the real life? Huh? Why not?
I don't know.
Well, you don't like to be forced to do anything, but you can't go to the store without being forced to wear a mask. You're okay with that. But just talking about God for 20 minutes is not okay?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do know. Just say it.
I don't know.
You'll never know, and you don't care to know. Well, I at least care enough to try. Could you try?
I just don't like. I don't know. I don't know.
What's forcing you to do anything? I mean, if you're not gonna be willing to talk about real life and real stuff and anything anybody else enjoys except for yourself, then what do you think you're gonna get out of it?
I don't know.
What do you hope to get out of it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, everybody knows. Everybody knows. Nobody's sitting around wishing that they could just go through life with, I don't know. I don't know is the devil. I don't know, I can't, I won't, I'm not going to. And why does the devil, and I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying that's in his realm, because that's what keeps you depressed, that's what keeps you oppressed, that's what keeps you from being happy. And that's what he likes. That's what he likes, is make everyone suffer. And that's the thing. This world is everybody's suffering, not just you. Everybody is suffering, and we gotta learn how to deal with our suffering by being there for each other when we're suffering. And that's okay. I'm okay to be there for you, with you. You know?
Yeah.
You don't like that? Huh? Well, do you like it when I'm there for you or not?
Yeah.
That don't sound very convincing.
I like this though.
I like what? Huh? What do you have such a grudge against this for? You do, every time. For years, it's been a great grudge. Very upsetting and angry for you, for me to do this. Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. And if you tell me, it'll make you feel better.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
Well, I believe you do, and I don't think you're being honest. When you say I don't know to every question over the past 9 years.
Well,
Every time anybody talks to you about something good, it's you shut it down. Why?
I don't know.
Don't you want to be happy? Have you ever desired happiness? You don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
What is happiness? If you don't know, you've never had it, you've never experienced it.
And I guess I don't know.
How are you going to be happy if you don't even want to be happy?
I do.
Do you? So you just think that you could sit there every day and I don't know for 20 years and that's going to produce some kind of joy?
Who knows?
Well, you don't know anything because every question anyone asks you is the same as I don't know. So why did you think anybody's out to hurt you?
I don't.
Well, why do you think if somebody's trying to lead you down the path of joy and happiness, that's going to hurt you?
I don't.
What do you think's going to happen?
I don't know.
Well, if you had any questions, what would your questions be? Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Come on. Who's told you or taught you or trained to you that if you support me, help me, talk to me, receive me like your dad, you're going to be punished?
Nobody.
Well, then why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, you do. Why?
I don't know.
What do you think? Who's telling you that?
Nobody.
Somebody.
Nobody.
Somebody else.
Nobody.
Well, I never taught you that.
I don't know.
Huh? What do you want?
I don't know.
When you talk to your friends, you just for 2 fucking hours say, I don't know. Over
Yeah.
and over and over and over and over. Just I don't know, that's all you got?
Sometimes.
It's every day, Aaron. It's every day. That's why it's so enjoyable to hang out with you and watch movies and do things, because for 10 years you've been fucking locked. You have locked yourself into a place of, I don't know, I don't care, I'm not gonna, can't do it. Does that make me your enemy?
No.
Well, because I know for a fact you did not sit there for 2 hours talking to Tim and Michael, saying, I don't know to every fucking thing they say. Being all mad and upset, you're even sitting there next to them.
I'm not.
It's obvious. I think the worst thing I ever did as a parent was buying you a computer and video games. Ruined your life. Ruined our lives. Our relationship together. I wish I had never done it. I think your video games Satan. And it's the only thing you care for is a fucking game. And then when the real world confronts you, you're very upset.
Not upset.
You don't see it.
I just feel like I'm being attacked, so I'm obviously gonna be.
I
not
feel
the
like
greatest,
you're
you know?
attacking me when you can't even have a conversation.
I can.
Oh, well.
Maybe more about regular shit.
No, that's the thing. You don't always get to choose what's being talked about and not being talked about. Sometimes you gotta deal with shit
I like to choose what conversations I want to be a part of and what I don't want to be a part of.
How's that working for you?
Well, normally it works pretty fine.
I don't think it does. No.
Because I feel more comfortable talking about regular shit than being made to talk about things I don't want to talk about.
Like reality?
Talk
Right?
about reality in life. Just don't also like being put on camera and just made it to be a fucking thing on the show. I don't know. I'm not
You don't care if anybody else has helped, right? Or finds any answers.
No, that's not
I
the
thought it was a
problem.
good idea because there's a million people who are just like you.
I don't know.
You're not alone. You're not the only person who's like you.
Yeah.
And I just thought it'd be nice for you to come outside of yourself and recognize there's a whole fucking world out here. I'm in it too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a dick. It's very disappointing when this is what happens for 10 years. Not today. Not yesterday. Huh? These are the kind of things that make you want you to visit with psychiatrists. At least you'd have somebody to talk to about the real shit in life. And it would be good for you. It'd be good for you to actually talk about the things that are happening in the world, people in the world.
To talk about things and people in the world.
It's the things. This world's about to change, and it ain't gonna change for good. And you need to be ready for that. What?
Nothing. I think it's probably gonna stay pretty close to the same.
No, it's not. No, it won't, because there's a million people just like you says, I don't, I won't, I ain't gonna, I don't care. And you're the ones who are gonna suffer the greatest consequences of the choice that you say you have. And your choice is that.
My choice is to just not fret over shit like that. There's no point. It's gonna happen anyways, and you might as well just embrace
It's
it.
waited for you guys for 2,000 years for you to come, your generation to come into the world. And that's exactly, no matter what's gonna happen, it's because you were chosen for it. Can't happen unless you make it happen. Nothing. So how are you gonna start a new business if communism corporate takes over? You're not gonna. You understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you gonna buy a house if corporate communism takes over? You are not going to. You won't get to choose where you live. You won't get to choose what jobs you have. You won't have the ability to start your own business anymore. And to say, I don't care, I don't know, I won't do
I
anything
never
different.
said that to any of that.
Well, that's the trouble we're all facing. There's a millions of people just like you who think that playing a video game and in that you're just like the game, you hit the reset button.
All I could do was go
Starts
vote,
over.
so that's it.
No, you could do more than that. Seeing there's people outside of yourself, world up here. They have feelings, I have feelings. Well, it hurts my feelings when you can't have a decent, good conversation about real stuff.
I can.
Well, you don't have to be so upset.
I'm not.
You don't have to be so rebellious. I feel like the only reason you're rebellious is because your grandma told you you have to be.
No.
Yeah?
Nobody told me anything.
I know that's great about our problems. So what do you believe?
And what?
For anything. What do you believe about God?
I don't know.
What do you believe about Jesus?
That he existed.
Huh?
I believe Jesus was real.
Yeah. Do you believe God loves you?
Yeah.
Do you believe I love you?
Yeah.
Why do you believe I love you?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Not because I care for you?
Yeah.
I know I'm not a good dad. I know I've not been there perfect for you the way you should have. I'm sorry. How do you know I love you?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. We hang out, I guess.
It's up to you, you know. You have problems, do I try to help you?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Don't you think God, if He's perfect, is 10 times greater than me?
Yeah.
Because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know God loves you?
I don't know.
Well, you know I love you because I hang out with you. Don't you think God would desire to hang out with you?
I guess. I don't know.
What do you know about Cain and Abel?
Nothing. One killed the other one. That's about it.
Well, they're not literally two people. Same way Adam and Eve are not literally two people. Right?
Yeah.
Adam, the name Adam means dirt man or earthling. Right?
Right. What's up with the guy?
Okay. From yesterday?
Yeah, on the video.
That guy's a black guy. That guy's a white guy.
That was white.
No,
He's just tan.
that's not the same guy.
Yeah, the same face.
One guy didn't have a beard. That guy's got a beard.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Not even close. Cain and Abel, the same thing. Doesn't represent two people, but rather like two nations of people, two types of people, right? One day, Abel, the younger brother, decides to make a sacrifice to God, saying he's very thankful for everything he has. I think God never asked for no sacrifice or nothing. He gave life to Adam and Eve. They got kicked out of the garden, out of utopia, out of perfection. They didn't even have to eat. We were vegetarians at that time.
Yeah.
So Abel represents like nomadic people, right? Your Indians, your nomads, all across the world. That in the beginning, that's how life was, right?
Yeah.
There was no cities. There was just people. And the nomad is somebody who kind of like travels and follows the herds. Well, Abel must have been pretty smart because he gobbled up some sheep and pinned them up. That's what like sheep herders do. They follow the herds around, tending to the needs of their animals.
Right.
So he decides he wants to make a sacrifice to God using one of his sheep as the gift.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't use any sheep, he used the very best of his flock. Kind of like, if you don't give your best effort in life for whatever goals you want, if we want to do business together, which is good, we don't put forth our best effort, will it work?
Right.
No, we'll fail, right? And that's what God is saying there. He doesn't accept half effort, a fake effort, but a full effort. And he will accept that. He accepted Cain's or Abel's sacrifice with joy. And so his brother Cain, and what does Cain represent? What do you think?
Farmers.
No, that's Abel.
Those people who aren't nomads.
But what is that? What's the opposite of farmers and nomads?
I don't know.
City dwellers.
Civilization.
Yeah. So Cain invents the city. He's the first guy who invents the settlement or a city. Right? That's what Cain did. So he represents like city folk. And we know in our world there are city folk and there are country folks, right?
Right.
No matter how Christian you are, no matter how nice guy you are, you go out in the country and they find out you're from Denver, they don't want nothing to do with you. They want your money because you're a tourist. And that's all they care for. You can't go be a city guy, go out and get a job out on a farm. Why? They don't mingle. Never. They will not be friends. They will not accept you. If you want to go out and create your own farm, you can do that. But there's nothing, there's this complete separation between city people and country people. That's everywhere in the world. Nothing's changed. But Cain saw that Abel was producing something good, and God is accepting that as a good offer, right?
Yeah.
So he becomes jealous. You ever felt jealous before?
No.
Lie. Everybody feels jealous. What is jealous?
You like other people's shit?
Desiring other people's shit. So remember we were talking about narcissism the other day and how kind of narcissists use the things they have around them, whether it's a nice coat, nice clothing, nice cars, nice homes. They use those things as a form of protection. Right? And if you think success is based upon the things they have instead of on something good, right? That's covetousness. That's jealousy. Saying my success is measured upon what that guy has. Because I don't have it, I'm not successful. Right? That's jealousy in its essence. Trying to measure yourself by what you see other people have. And why does God say stay away from jealousy? Coveting and jealousy is like a sin.
Right.
Why?
I don't know.
Because does jealousy hurt anybody but you?
No.
No, it only hurts you. And why?
I don't know.
Because if you're measuring your success by what that other person has, who does that hurt?
You.
It hurts you. You'll never be successful. And that's why God says it's a sin, because what does He desire? According to the Bible, He desires your best.
Right.
The best life for you, and the best health care for you. He desires your well-being. It's one thing God doesn't like is depression. Why would God not like that? Because it's harming you.
Yeah.
It's not that being jealous is some crazy sin that only bad people do. It's a form of protection. So you don't get depressed, so you don't get upset with the person inside of you.
Right.
And how you do that is by measuring success by having God in your presence. Or, in other words, joy, happiness. You know you have a successful dad. When you enjoy spending your day with him. That means your dad is successful to you.
Right.
And you find joy hanging out with him. And that's okay. That's where I feel I'm successful.
Yeah.
Me and you are happy and having good talks. Hanging out. I feel very good about that.
That's true.
So it upsets me when you say I don't want to get all down and upset. So that's not what I want. I want to enjoy the time. I like that.
Same.
Good. So Cain comes up with an idea that he wants to copy his brother out of jealousy, right? Because he was successful. Said in his own heart, I am no longer successful. And so Cain says, I know what I'll do to be successful just like my brother. Why was he successful? He was in God's presence and God was pleased with that. Made him successful. He was pleased with it. So Cain offers stuff from the ground and God, and he was farming. Cain was farming. Right? So he offers fruit from the ground, but God had told them that the ground was cursed. And anything the earth produces is cursed. Right? And that was from Adam and Eve, serpent, and the devil. The punishment was, you will work as hard as you can, at sweat of your brow, always trying to obtain peace and harmony, yet never finding it.
Right.
So everything the earth produces, that's why farming, growing food, that's why there's 10 million weeds, and there's nothing you can eat from. You have to grow and tend to the needs of the farm, but nobody grows or tends to the needs of weeds, right? And they're everywhere. The fruit and vegetables are not everywhere. That's power of sin. So it produces something from the ground, and God was not pleased with that. And so what did Abel or Cain do?
I don't know.
He got angry. What happens when if I told you I'm not pleased with something you're doing?
I don't
First
know.
knee-jerk reaction is you can become upset, defensive, angry. Everybody does that. When I ask you to do something you don't want to do, what happens?
You get angry.
You get rebellious. You get into that I don't know mode. Because you're not always like that. Only when you're upset, that's how I know you're not happy. Everything you say is all of a sudden, I don't know. And I know you know, you just don't want to come out and say it. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because that's exactly what God did to Cain. Says, I don't accept that sacrifice. And for one of the reasons, because he didn't offer the best, but only something. It wasn't the very best he could offer. And so God told him, well, make me another offering. Would I not accept that? He went out and tried it again. Right? Try and give me your best effort. And I'll be pleased with you. Told him try again. And Cain got angry. God says, why are you angry? Remember, God is love. He's love. So he says, why are you angry? And how did he know he was angry? He could see it on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Same with me. I can see it. You know, just because you say, I don't know, I'm okay. You can see in your eyes and in your face. You're not okay. You are upset. So both anger and love are two things you can see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see it and you can experience it. Yeah, those are two words that are followed through action. They're actions. They're not idle words. They describe something in action. Both love and anger. God knows he was angry. It says if you don't master over the sin, anger, it will master you. Right?
Right.
When you don't like being told what to do, and you don't like being subject to do something you don't want to do. Right?
Yeah.
Well, anger leads you down a path to a place you don't want to be. And it's not you doing it, rather it's the anger mastering over you, forcing you to do something you probably wouldn't normally do. So you have to control your anger. Because anger, when fully grown, is hatred. All hatred starts out as anger. Anger grows into hatred. And hatred, when it's fully grown, it murders. It murders. Well, that's what Cain did. He went and murdered his brother. Right?
Yeah.
And how did God know he murdered his brother?
I don't know, because you could see all.
Because life after death. The blood of Abel cried out from the earth to God. And God heard that cry.
Yeah.
Well, it's all relevant to Jesus Christ, as Jesus Christ was buried in the ground, and the blood from Christ cried out to God, and God answered. Jesus was not a murderer, he was murdered.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all relevant. What was the one thing Rome didn't like?
I don't know.
Nomads and farmers, but why not? 'Cause they wanted complete control. If we hate each other, angry with each other, and we murder each other, isn't there a punishment in that?
Yeah, I guess.
What did God say? What's the punishment?
I don't know.
He told the king, the punishment is me not in your presence. Because even Jesus said, if you hate your brother, When he's saying brother, he means earthling. You are earthlings. And every human being are related. There are no other earthlings anywhere in existence. And if you hate your brother from your heart, you've already murdered him because the hatred and anger has become your master. And there's a punishment to that. It's God's the one who said, you shall not murder. There's no murder. You can't kill. When he's saying kill, he's killing another human. And God says and recognizes we are struggle with that. But nevertheless, if anybody sheds the blood of a man, then by his own blood, he must atone for that sin. Life for life. Right?
Yeah.
Eye for life. Eye for an eye. Tooth for a tooth. And yet when Jesus, the perfect man, came into the world, he was murdered. So we're all going to die. Right? Life for life.
Right.
He gave up his life for us. And we ought to do the same for him. And we're not talking dying, suicide, right? Everybody's suffering, aren't they? And the suffering's never going to go away.
Yeah.
And there's people who think they can create a utopian style government. They're fooling themselves. Suffering will never go away. Because this life, it's the one thing that makes us all suffer the most. What do you think?
I don't know.
Starvation, famine, wars?
Yeah. None of that goes away.
Well, no, but which one do you think makes us suffer the most?
I don't know. On that one.
Huh?
I don't know.
Well, according to Cain, the one thing that makes a person suffer the absolute most is having God removed from their presence. That's what creates the most suffering of all. And that's why I think it's very important that we don't allow the United States to go into a place of communism, because the first thing communism does, and they've done it since it was invented, kill Christians, kill God, remove Christians and God from their world, just like Cain. And what's the one thing going to create the most suffering of all?
I don't know.
Removing God. Removing God.
Yeah.
And that's why they want to do that. It's a force of demonic people. Evil. And you gotta care. Why?
I don't know.
Because God cares. Because I care. Because in the end, I know you care. Right?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you care about most?
I don't know, really.
Your family, your job, your car, Patrick, yourself, grandma. What do you care about the most? It's the one thing you care
I don't know.
about? You ever thought about it?
I mean, all that stuff's pretty good.
It's all good.
All the stuff you just said.
Yeah, those are all nice things. Which one? What thing?
I don't really have a singular thing that I care about the most.
Have you ever thought about it?
No, not really.
Why not?
I don't know.
Maybe you should. Yeah, maybe now that I've brought the question up, you should think about it one time. How about that? What do you care about the most? It could be anything, and nothing you say will be wrong.
I don't know.
You know what I think I care about the most?
What's that?
Seeing you turn into an old gray man, just like me. Seeing you find happiness and joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. About your happiness and your joy. And I'd like to be a part of that. That's what I care about. I think God wanted the same thing, cares about the same thing, your happiness and your joy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Jesus said. I came into the world to bring you joy and life to the abundance. Is your life full of abundance?
Not really.
Yeah. Oh, we all could use more. Is your life full of joy?
Sometimes.
Takes your joy.
I don't know.
It's only one thing takes my joy away. Let's see you struggle.
Yeah.
I think God feels the same way. Steals or robs himself of joy when we're struggling. It's for that reason he's created a new earth and a new heaven. You're welcome in that place. Heaven is... Where's heaven? What is heaven?
I don't know.
I told you already. God's living place. One thing God wants most is you to be in his living spot, his living place. Dwelling. Do you have any questions? Yes, you do.
Not really.
You want to take the dog for a walk? Hmm? You want to take the dog for a walk somewhere?
I don't know.
Just say yes or no. And if you don't want to, that's fine. can wait for it to cool off a little bit.
That'd be a good idea if we did. It's hot as shit out here.
I know. That one little cloud is kind of nice, but it is hot. Muggy.
Yeah, it's hot. It's a hot one.
I thank you for this trip. I love you.
I love you too.
I don't do this to make you upset. Comfortable. It's because I care about you. It's one thing that won't leave you. There's only one thing that can bring peace to you. Peace in your heart and your mind. And that's Jesus. You don't have to believe that. Until you have peace and harmony within you. I can't believe there is another way. Even the Buddhists think they have a way to know peace, but if you go inside a Buddhist temple, they get in fights and shit, you know that? They beat each other up. They don't use weapons. They get in fights, fist fights, everything. Inside a Buddhist temple where they claim to have the way of enlightenment.
Not the monks.
Yeah.
Maybe the
I'll show
regular
you. No, I'll show you. The monks know, man. Fighting each other. They get all pissed off and ashamed of themselves. They cut their fucking fingers off. There's a lot of holy monks that have missing, you know, parts of their fingers and stuff. Do you know that?
Probably.
It's true. It's all over YouTube. Do you know what the way of enlightenment is, according to the Buddhists?
Going out in the middle of nowhere by yourself and not talking to nobody forever.
Well, God
Or
says...
sleep for the rest of your life
No, that's not it.
through meditation.
No,
That's how they do it.
they do meditate, but according to the Buddhists, the secret to enlightenment is follow the 10 Commandments. If you actually study it, they'll tell you, do not murder, do not become jealous, honor your mother and your father, do not steal.
Yeah, I believe it.
They go right down all of the 10 Commandments, right there in the teachings. That's how you find enlightenment. And in their search, yeah, they go out into the wilderness, or that's Bible says the same thing. Where does God meet you? Where did He meet the people?
I don't know.
In the wilderness. A voice crying out from the wilderness, shouting out, "Make a straight path to the Lord. Make His way straight." That's John the Baptist. Where did God meet the people of Moses' day? The Israelites. He met them in the wilderness. They were lost out in the wilderness for 40 years, wrestling with God. And they had a very rebellious heart. Every time God would try to talk to the people and set them down, they would, for some reason, grow rebellious. And they would shut down. And they wouldn't talk about it. That turned out to be harmful. Didn't bring enlightenment. Same way the Buddhists. You could own nothing but the clothes on your back. Yet they're not, they don't have peace. Because if they had peace, they could go around functioning in the world just like everybody else. Right?
Yeah.
So they try to remove all things from their lives to obtain that peace. But everything made by God is here in our existence. Everything, in our homes, grains, technology comes from God's desire to know you, be in your presence. And yeah, it's evil out there. Can we try this again? Another day?
Maybe.
Say yes.
I'd rather just say maybe.
I like honest answer. If you want to say no, that's okay. What do you think will happen?
Nothing.
It's horrible. Put forth good effort in knowing. Would something negative happen?
I don't know.
No, Ted. Just laugh. There's help is out there.